Hello again, and thank you for joining Jeff and Jenny's Classic Restorations in association with Vintage Moped World. Well, we're going to do this introduction quite quickly. It's clouding over due to be thunderstorms today, and Jenny doesn't like thunderstorms, do you, darling? No. So hopefully later on it'll be in the shed, so we just get this done now. And all I'm going to do today is just show you how I've got on with the Cimatti mini Chic, and I may have to ask you for some advice, so it's not really a how-to, it might be asking you how to. So please come and join us. I'll show you what I've done with the Cimatti, and some advice is possibly needed. Thank you. Here we are back inside. One thing I've managed to do, the handlebars have been done. I used silver paint in the end and gone over with some 2-pack clear coat on there. I managed to get hold of a new, I don't need that in there, managed to get hold of a new switch for the lights, horn and stop, engine stop there. So that's all done. The electrics are all joined up now, including the extra wire I brought down from the back light, which is now joined up with the cable from the switch. Had some trouble with the chain, the old one was fine actually, but it had a little kink in it, so every time it went round the cog up here, it kept clonking. But now it's got a brand new chain on it. As you can see, it's nice and smooth now. That goes through that nicely, and which has allowed me to get the chain guard on. So where the problems lie now is obviously the electrics. I've taken off the covers now, and I managed to get hold of a puller, a flywheel puller for this particular one. So as I say, I'm probably going to need some advice. It's all stuff that we pretty much all know, whether it's condenser or points, but I'm going to show you what I've done as a little tester first of all. Well, I had a go at sort of testing for a spark earlier on, and this is the original one that came with it. For some reason it's not the plug doesn't fit in it, whether it's got the screw on or the other outer bit that goes on. It wouldn't go in there at all, so obviously that was a waste of time. I did find a spare one, which is not very good, so I've ordered a new one of these. Still no spark, but one thing I do to sort of test things, I use my dear old late father's old tester thing instead of using the modern day ones. And what I'd try and do, if I can get this on camera as well, I'll put that in the plug hole, hopefully. Let's put it up here a bit. Put that in the plug hole somehow. There we go, earth that one. And if you look on here, and I'll kick that over, see, you've still got nothing. But unscrewing the plug, and putting the wire directly into there, and we try again. Well, that's not earthed, bear with me. There we go. So I don't know if you can see, but we are getting electric charge coming through. Obviously not enough to make a spark, but this is where I've got my problems. Is the switch supposed to be earthed on the handlebar? Does that do something? But then of course you wouldn't got any signal through on that. So I'm going to take a look inside the flywheel and have a look at the electrics, and see if there's anything obvious. So let's have a look inside there. Right, so to get this off, I've got my makeshift years cylinder stopper, or whatever you call it, which should just screw in. I might have to move the cylinder down a bit, or the piston down a bit, bear with me. Okay, so that's in. So now that piston is locked, we can, I think this is the right one, undo this main nut for the flywheel. There we go. Right, and this is my thing. I hope it fits. This is took a gamble on it. It was supposed to be these for these engines. And hopefully this will slide in, screw in there. Hopefully, yep, there we go. And now I can lock this one up, and we can use this X drive thing to undo it. Let's get that screwed in first. Oh, that's good, isn't it? Didn't even need it. There we go. Well, that all looks pretty clean in there. A little bit of corrosion. Might be worth cleaning that up. And in here we've got there's the points, a lighting coil, and this is the ignition coil, which is totally different to, I think they should be similar to that. But that could be suspect. And we've got the condenser there, which is one of these, solder these bits on. But I think first of all I'll try and clean these points up a little bit. Okay, so I've got me a little bit of 600 paper here. So we just run that through there. A little bit of dirt coming off. The other side. So they don't look too bad. That would clean won't hurt, I'm sure. I don't know when it would actually run last. Okay. Well, it doesn't look anything wrong there, but what I'll do, I'm just going to have a quick look around, see if I can find anything that maybe earthed out or something, and we'll come back to you. Well, I've cleaned up the Magneto there. That's all clean again now. Doesn't appear to be anything wrong, but this is all I've got information wise to go on. I don't know if you can see this. This is this would be the Bosch model, which has the internal coil, which would be this one, which is actually a CEV as well, and so is the flywheel as well. That's a CEV, even though it's, I think it must be a Bosch model because it's got the 3 rings in there, or 3 holes. But if you go down to the CEV ones, it hasn't got 3 holes, it's just the 2, but external coil. And if you go down to the next one, which is the same again, it's another CEV, that's got the 3 holes, but it's also got an external coil. Well, obviously this coil here is an internal one, and it is a CEV coil. The only thing I can think of offhand now, this is where I need some advice, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to assume the timing is correct as it is. So I'm just going to scribe a little mark in there, and then we'll take this off and see how there's a little bit of corrosion in there, see how that maybe that's not sealing properly against the metal. So we'll have a look inside there and see if that helps at all. As I say, I'll put a little pencil mark there, both on the main casing and on the starter plate there. So let's just we can unscrew this now. Let's just see how things are behind, if this comes off, of course, which it won't. Try that one. Yeah, that one's alright. And must be one there. That's okay. And just, I don't really want to damage this one as we have got trouble. No, that's not wanting to go. I think I'm going to try and use the impact driver on that one before we ruin that nut. That did the job, so take that one out. It does seem pretty stuck to it. What we've got to handy. I'm sure that was it, wasn't it? Just 3. There we go. Yeah. Right, let's have a little look if we can. Yeah, screw out still. There we go. Okay. What's things like behind? Not bad, not bad. Maybe I have to pull some of those wires through. So bear with me a minute. Okay, I'll pull these wires back through a little bit now. The actual core actually seems okay, to be honest. It's all sealed and everything. A little bit of corrosion in some of these places, down here and obviously in there. So I think what I'm going to do, I'll use a little Dremel with a brush on and see if we can clean that up a little bit. Not, I think it's going to make much difference, but it'll all help. So I'm just going to give that a clean up, and we'll see if that improves things. Okay, that's all cleaned up now. There doesn't seem to be any short circuits, but I just had a quick look through here. This is how you set the points. It's very difficult to see. I don't know if you can see in there. There's the points there, and they're fully open now, so there's hardly anything in there at all. Hardly any gaps. Supposed to be between 15 or 14 and 18, and I'll just try the 15 on it, and it's nowhere near. So you can see there's a little screw there. It's hard to do with one hand or 2 hands, and hold the camera. So I'm just going to undo that screw, push the feeder gauge in there, and I'm going to do it at 15, and hopefully that might improve things. Well, that's everything back together. I have adjusted the points. There's not much movement I can get. It's got the bare minimum of about 15 thou on it, so I might have to try and look for some points, because there's not enough on the cam to open them. So I mean, so there's the spark plug there. It's no, how does it go? You can see there's nothing happening there. The only thing that is happening is no front lights, but my Chinese thing at the back here is working. So that's at least something's working. So you know, please bear with me. If you have got any advice, I mean, I'll be grateful. I've got no idea where this there's any with this switch, if it's supposed to be earthed. I'm not sure. I really don't know. But so I'm getting that little bit of a signal on this old analog device, telling me that I am getting some sort of a signal coming through. I can't really change the HT lead because it's built into the coil. So changing the cap, I've got a new one of those coming. But up to there, I'm pretty stuck. So any advice, I'll be very grateful. Thank you. Well, thanks again for watching. I'm sorry it wasn't really to show you much, apart from a little bit of an update with the cosmetics. But as I say, if you have got any ideas, so I could try and get a new condenser for it. They have to be soldered in on this one, but the coil possibly. But it seems strange. I am getting some sort of a signal at the spark plug in. But if you have got any advice, I'll be very grateful. So please subscribe if you do like the videos, and please leave a comment. I do answer all of them. And so on behalf of little Jenny girl here, you have a pleasant day, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.